Okay, so recently I switched from console to PC. It's been my first month on PC, and I've learned quite a bit. I've went from having a point 0.7, 0.6 KD to an overall 1.0. I was sitting like at the like point 0.7 ranked KD for like I was like level 70 almost. So it's been a weird adjustment, and people have been asking me how I actually warm up, how did I warm up on console. So I'm gonna show you how I warmed up on console and PC, and how like I actually found my own sensitivity, because like I did the same thing. It's not like just because I switched platforms like I changed what I was doing. So first, let's get into what map I actually play. Now, since I actually started playing T Hunt, I've always I'm having a stroke. I always ran, of course, just normal elimination, take out, of course, protect hostage and disarm bomb, or and extract hostage, and then turn off every map but house. Now, if you get bored of T hunts, because T hunts can get very boring, then you can switch it up. But the only reason I play on house is because there's no fat ass bombers, and that just gets so irritating, man. Because like I'm trying to warm up and get used to like the one shot headshot, and like this, you got a fat ass dude running at you trying to blow you up. So that's my settings when it comes to actually T hunt. Let's get right into T hunt though. Okay, now let's first talk about like sensitivity before anything else. The way I found my sensitivity was basically the same way how I found my sensitivity on console. So right now I'm running 800 DPI on my mouse with 1212 65 sensitivities. And to be honest, it's a good sensitivity. I tried every like DPI possible. Not possible, but like, I went from 400, I tried 800, I even told like 1200 when I first started playing, and I realized that usually 800, 400 is the sweet spot. But of course, I just go up to this and I try to get my tracking down when it comes to actually like where I'm shooting. And if it's in a consistent basis like that, then my sensitivity is fine for me. But what I notice is a lot of players, if they do this, it'll be like a weird motion. So you should just do this and figure out until it gets very tight like this. Okay, so when I first get into T-Hunt, my very first T-Hunt, I'm just trying to warm up my eyes and get my tracking down, because, I probably just woke up, or, my eyes aren't used to staring at a screen. I don't know if anybody else has an issue where the game just feels weird when it comes to your eyes, but I just started with a normal T-Hunt. It's very, very just simple. So the next thing I usually do in T-Hunt is I try to practice either only one taps, which I'm just going to start out with one taps. I just like using Sledge or any soft breacher because, I can get in garage very fast. It's very simple. So I turn my gun to one tap and I make sure, it's, I'm only getting headshots. I wish Siege would update their terror stunts so you can change like settings where it's only headshot only. I remember back in like MW2 days when you would get into like you would set up like a quickscope lobby, you were able to put on headshots only. And I just wish Siege would do little stuff like that. Or like turn off like these assholes having stun grenades, because that gets really irritating, man. But the whole reason I don't get bored of a map like House is because I usually understand and try to get in the habit of just pre-firing common spots or pre-aiming, and I know where all the terrorists are now, so it's good for me to like warm up and like make sure my crosshair placement's fine. And it's a small map, so you can do a lot of these T-Hunts pretty quickly, and you have no fatty little bombers. Now the third thing I usually do, since I'm horrendous at like just using pistols and even like any type of trigger finger, but I usually just pull out a pistol and I do the whole terrorist hunt just with a pistol. I really wish Siege would implement like, I don't know if you played Rocket League, but there's like training courses that people can create, and it would be really cool for people to like let us do our own like training like T-Hunts for the community. It'd make the game more refreshing and it wouldn't just feel boring, because I understand that T-Hunt, it gets very boring, especially if you're constantly doing it, because you don't know your sensitivity, or you're just trying to warm up and vibe. Your best bet to not get bored of T-Hunt is either have like a show in the background on like a second monitor, or just like listen to the music and just vibe, man. because when I first switched to PC, it was a very weird adjustment, and like all I was playing was casual and T-Hunt, and it was actually so boring, but like I wanted to get better, and I wanted to find a sensitivity that I felt comfortable with. So what else you should be doing in Terrace Hunt when you're actually just vibing and trying to warm up is you need to start practicing and understanding recoil on weapons, like for example Bucks, Twitch's F2 with ACOG, you know, all these weapons, because it's really gonna pay off at the end of the day when you're just so immune to it. On console, that's how I got immune to Buck, because it did feel so goddamn weird. Like it would bounce so much, and like you kind of have to like, I don't know, pull down so much, and even on your sticks you have to pull down. Another thing I want to go over is actually practicing repelling. And I know this is a more basic thing to work on, but I know a lot of people just hate repelling because it feels so awkward because the controls are like inverted almost. But this is what I did to actually just like learn how to feel comfortable while repelling. It's very simple, you know. Your main goal in T-Hunt overall should not be to not die or even win it. I mean, you should just be worrying about like warming up and like practicing stuff, because this is the best bet you're gonna get for practicing. And when it comes to the difficulty on the terrace, it doesn't really matter in my opinion, because they're all AIs. They're all gonna wallbang you from like stupid walls, and there's nothing realistic about it. If you put it unrealistic, it just means they're gonna have better walls. That's all it is. Of course, if you want a better way to react, like then maybe put it on like expert or whatever the difficulty is. But I just like to vibe, because I still be getting slammed by terrorists in this. But that's because I don't play with sound on. Like right now, you can hear sound, but my headphones aren't on, because I'm literally just listening to music most of the time. So the last thing I actually do in T-Hunt to warm up is do a whole T-Hunt while ADSing. And what this does is it helps your flicks and your reaction time while ADSing, and it gets you into the habit of not having to un-ADS to reposition your crosshair. Now, if this video helped you in any type of way, like and subscribe, maybe drop a comment. Have a lovely day. Thank you.